Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of BB News. And the transfer window officially opens today, so I'm going to be talking Chelsea transfer news. So guys, you'd have thought that listening to some of our fan base that the transfer window was about to close because people are panicking at the moment because Chelsea haven't made a move in the transfer market as yet. But the window's just opened today, guys. Okay, we can do our groundwork and as I'm looking at the moment, Jude Bellingham has just signed for Real Madrid. And others, Liverpool have made a move in the market. But when you look at it, not a lot of big teams have made major moves in the market yet. Why? Because, as I said before, the market has just opened. So what does that mean for Chelsea then? Because a lot of people are panicking at the moment. And I've seen some laughable comments at the moment, with some people even saying that Winstanley and Stewart need to go, they're out of their depth and everything else. Come on, guys. Give them a break. They haven't had a proper window yet. If at the end of the window we failed to address certain situations, then maybe you can say that we've had a bad window. But we've got until August, until the window closes. And a section of our fan base are saying it's Caicedo or nothing. If we fail on, obviously Rice looks like he's going to Arsenal, but they said if we don't get Caicedo, then we're finished. The world's doomed. They're not going to watch. I heard even though someone said he's not even going to watch Chelsea next season if we don't get Caicedo. Weird fan base. Listen, hypotheticals now. If let's say the tables were turned, for instance, say that Andre Santos was a couple of years older than Caicedo, and Santos had moved from his club in Brazil to Brighton, for instance, and Caicedo was still plying his trade in Independiente, I think it is, in Ecuador. And say our club has scouted Caicedo. A lot of our fan base would probably be saying, why are we going for this Caicedo when Andre Santos is doing this thing at Brighton? We want Andre Santos. Caicedo is a bit of a risk. That's the way it goes. What we got to remember with Caicedo, great player. Yeah, I'm not saying he isn't. He's a great player. But last 2 seasons ago, he was plying his trade at Beerschot in the Belgium league. He was on loan to Beerschot. A lot of you probably haven't even heard of who Beerschot are. But he was only recalled. The only reason he was recalled was because Brighton had a shortage of midfielders. They had a few injuries and everything else, so they had to bring him back. So they brought him back in January, and the rest is history. He's put in some outstanding performances to make other teams take notice. But the point I'm trying to make is, we hadn't heard of him a couple of seasons ago. He was, if anyone said Caicedo, who? I'm not interested in him. But he's come in, he's proved his worth, and now he's an £80 million player. Am I saying that that's going to happen with Andre Santos? I don't know. But the club who have scouted him, I think the same people who scouted Caicedo for Brighton, incidentally, because we've got some of those guys at Chelsea now. They got high hopes in Andre Santos. Is he going to work out at Chelsea? Only time will tell. But we always want somebody who's established and has already done it at another club, rather than looking at gems of our own. And I'm hoping that this has changed now with the way that the club are going. Caicedo has done great things for the Italian under-21s or under-20s in that tournament, finished player of the tournament, 8 goals, big physical unit. So he's suited for the Premier League. Is he ready for Chelsea yet? Probably another loan season, I think, for him. But the thing is, we can unearth a few of our gems and save some money. Even if Caicedo did come to Chelsea, is he going to be an instant success? We don't know, because it's just the same as people when they used to level the fact that it was easier for Graham Potter at Brighton because that was his level. When you join a bigger club, sometimes it doesn't always work out for you, because expectations are higher and you're always under the spotlight. And especially our fan base, if Caicedo comes in and has 3 or 4 bad games, he'll be on his back, just like us, me included, ashamedly. But with Cucurella this season, he came Brighton's Player of the Year, came into Chelsea, and he hasn't looked the same. Not to say he's a bad player. Next season he may be better, or maybe Chelsea. I know he had some personal issues going on, but maybe the step up, that level, that step up and the expectations may be too much for some people. I always remember Alex Ferguson saying one time, he doesn't only look at the playing ability of a player. He looks at has they got the right character, the right personality to handle playing at a big stadium like Old Trafford. And it's because of Chelsea's, the status that Chelsea are at the moment. Okay, we're out of Europe and we had a poor season, but we're still considered as one of the bigger clubs with high expectations. You're coming to the club, you're meant to be hitting the ground running. So again, is he gonna come in here and Caicedo I'm talking about, and hit it off straight away? We just don't know. That's the thing with transfers, we don't know. We're hoping he does, but we don't know. So for our fan base to say it's him or nothing, and there's no other DMs out there. There's plenty of DMs out there, but just because this guy has propelled to like Ugarte, who'd heard of Ugarte before? He became flavour of the month, and all of a sudden Chelsea fans were crying when we didn't get him. With Caicedo, he's the next one, and they don't research other DMs. There could be another DM who could be the perfect partner for Fernandes, but at the end of the day, we are just fans. We got scouts around the world. We've got a manager in Pochettino who knows the sort of profile that he needs. So rest assured, even if we don't get Caicedo, there'll be someone else coming in. So we'll have to wait and see who that player is. So I'm going to move on to the next transfer story, and that's the cheek of the Italian clubs and this Lukaku situation. For me, I always said it, this was the most expensive year-long loan in history. That's what it seems like. It seems like Milan just loaned Lukaku to Chelsea for 1 year, because they're taking liberties now, because we paid 93 million for this guy. He played a season for us, and then he's gone back to Inter for next to nothing, a small loan fee. I don't even know what the loan fee was. I think it was 7 million or something like that. And us taking on some of his wages. And now they want to have another loan, a second-year loan. Come on now, you're taking liberties. I hope the club doesn't do that, because there are other takers for Lukaku. If Lukaku doesn't want to play for Chelsea, then we should sell him to the highest bidder. At the end of the day, he's our player. We own him. Inter Milan are going on like they own him. We own him. We've got his contracts. So he's either he chooses who we want, or we don't loan him back to Inter Milan. Simple as. There's talk of a big offer move from the Saudis. I think he was offered 21 million a year, but he wants more. So he's trying to haggle with that. So there are options, but there's talk about he doesn't want to play in that league because he's only 31 and he feels that he's got a lot to offer in European football. Juventus are another keen admirer of him. I think Bayern Munich are also looking for a striker, but would that go down too well considering his relationship with Tuchel? I don't think so. So the rumours I heard about Bayern Munich, I think you could put that in the rubbish bin, because that's not going to happen. But there are other clubs, Atletico Madrid probably, or somebody who can take him. So I think that we've got to play hardball on this one, because these Italian clubs, they just expect, they plead poverty all the time and want our players on loan or with no option. And when it comes to us wanting one of their players, they quote astronomical figures, because we are after Onana, the goalkeeper, and we'll be quoted 60 million for him. They got him on a free last season. They want us to pay 60 million for Onana. So for me, if they've got someone that we want, we've got someone that they want. So we can do some sort of negotiation. And I think there's two players that they want from us. I think Lukaku and Chalobah. So if they want Lukaku and Chalobah, then I think we can take Unanu off their hands. They need to give us money. With knowing them, don't expect us to give them money, but I think they should be giving us money, because Lukaku is still valued at a minimum of 50,000, probably 50,000 with the efforts at Chelsea, 50 million. I think we quoted 40 odd million to the Saudis, who want to pay people big wages, by the way, but when they don't want to give you they thought 41 million, or was a quote 41 or 45, I can't remember what figure was quoted or reported to be quoted, because I know a lot of it's paper talk, but they're saying that figure is too high. Come on, you just spend in 100 million a year for Kante, and I think Benzema is probably getting more, but you don't want to spend 40 million on a transfer fee. Again, taking liberties. So for me, if they want him back so badly, they have to pay up or shut up. That's what I say. So that's my take on Lukaku's situation. So guys, what do you think of the Lukaku thing? Do you think we need to? Would you bow to the pressures of Inter Milan, or would you play hardball and say no, you pay the money, or we move him somewhere else? Would you keep him? Do you think that he can have a role to play? Because interestingly enough, some of our players said, had he been into the setup last season, they'd think he'd have scored at least 20 goals. Yeah, and what do you think about the Caicedo situation? Do you think if we don't get him, that's it? Our chances are finished, or our chance of top four for next season are finished? Or do you think there are other alternatives out there? So if there are other alternatives, stick them in the comment section below. Who would you like to get instead of Caicedo if that deal falls through? Are you panicking over what's happening in the transfer window at the moment, or do you think that, are you relaxed? Do you think that the directors of football know what they're doing and they'll get everything sorted and all the positions in place in time for the new season? Stick your comments in the section below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.